Willy McWilly Willy for Philly.
We were late. Did
something
you see
something
that?
McWilly.
We were late by 7 seconds.
What do you mean?
I was tracking the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown, and it was already 5:30.
All right. This time next week, it sounds like.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Sorry.
Thing. Hopefully we get it on time next time. It's like a rocket launch. You missed it.
Can you imagine if somebody was that dedicated, like we didn't show up like the moment that 5:30 hit, they're like, all right, well, screw this.
Yeah, no, these guys, yeah. Wait, 107 people were waiting there, so I think we lost one.
Dang it.
It's okay.
How's it going, man?
I'm all right. I think there are a couple things going on. One with the weather. It's kind of cold around here.
Yeah. There's a storm going on outside, so if I drop out, it's
you have like real genuine weather problems.
I have an actual storm going on. I saw the lights flicker once earlier.
Ooh.
I think it's died down a little bit though now, so we might be good.
Like, doesn't the weather know that Halloween is over? Like, come on.
Yeah. And that the podcast is going on.
Yeah, of course.
It's rude.
No, it makes it fun. I think we're now 3 episodes in a row with technical difficulties at some point over the horizon of the episode.
I think we did all right last time, right? No? Am I wrong?
I think there was a little blip where you went out. I don't know. It's always on your end, if I'm being honest. But, it's not like I'm keeping track or anything.
Well, you aren't, because it didn't happen last episode, and you're wrong, and I'd like to go back to the transcript.
All right, how about this episode? We just all collectively watch the last episode. I'll just do a share, and we just wait until your voice blips out and nobody really knows what you're saying.
That's the ultimate GFY. We'll be living up to this episode.
It's fantastic. But no, doing well. Well, real quick, I did just want to say, I mentioned the weather, then I didn't actually explain anything. It's very cold. Sorry. It's cold here in Tennessee. That's it. That's all I want to say. It was like 29 degrees this morning. The grass had the frost.
Oh, it's like real cold.
It's real cold.
Okay. Yeah.
Ollie was putting out the steamy poops. Like it was, it's real cold. That's the measurement, right? Like the amount of steam.
Steamy poops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 4 on the steamy poop index.
It is.
You're at a 4? Oh, man.
Oh, man. We were at a 6.3 this morning. It was crazy.
That's wild. What kind of tool would you have to make to measure that?
I mean, they're out there. I mean, that's a humidity sensor, right? I think that's what it would be. Like encapsulate. Yeah.
How does it? Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But it looks like you're munching on your Popo Plico drink or whatever it is.
Pupu Chico.
Pupu Chico. Got it.
Pupu Chico. Topo Chico.
Yeah. Still don't understand.
Got it.
I have.
Get
I have a glass. You'd be proud of me. I have a glass of wine. That's not the reason you'd be proud.
I was like, okay.
But it was a $27 bottle of wine.
Is that cheap? That sounds expensive.
It's expensive AF. That was the the cost of it is way more than. I was kind of doing the opposite. You wouldn't actually be proud of me, to be clear.
Well, I didn't know if this was like normally the bottles of wine I go with are 150 plus.
Yeah,
so you'd be super proud. It's only 27.
I think it's the most expensive bottle of wine that I've bought. It's 20. Yeah, it's called Educated Guess. I don't know if it has a specific brand name or something that's part of it, but
I mean, if you had to take an educated guess at the brand, what would you go with?
Yeah.
Red wine, white wine.
Red wine, always. Dry.
They're both nasty, but
get out of here.
Yeah.
No,
gross.
I'll say that it is a very specific type that I like. Okay, it's a Cabernet.
Sauvignon Blanc.
No, not Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
I think that's white.
Rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
Blanc
on the
is
rocks.
white. I know that.
My Cabernet is on the rocks. That's how I like it.
Yeah, with the straw.
That's incorrect. But I do enjoy, just a dry red wine. It's a good time. I don't know. That's about it. I don't like any other wines. I don't like sugary stuff. I drink my coffee black, and I drink my wine dry and dark and red.
Nice.
How do you drink your wine?
On the shelf at the store.
Oh wow! Is that legal? Do they let you do that?
They don't. So typically what I do is I just leave it there. I just walk by it and I just move on because wine's nasty. Red wine is like hot. I don't understand how anybody drinks that. And then I think if
Red
I were
wine
to
is
drink one,
no.
yeah, it's like
red
hot.
wine's not hot. What do you mean it's hot?
It like has a hot aftertaste.
Somebody like microwave your wine.
No, like I don't mean like that. I mean like when you drink it, you're like, my throat's hot.
It's not spicy, Will.
No, I don't mean spicy. Those hot and spicy are different.
You're weird.
Hot is like microwave, so like you were describing, and that's how when you drink red wine, that's what it tastes. That's what I remember. It's been a long time since I've tried it, but
I guess I could actually kind of see that, as insane as that sounds, and it's really good. I like it. I like coffee hot, and I guess I like my wine hot. Maybe I should start like boiling my wine. Is that a thing?
Sounds like you'd get rid of the alcohol, which is the
actually
point, right?
That is a thing. Mulled wine. You put it in like a crock pot, or at least that's what I've seen it in before. I had a friend who made it a year or 2 years ago.
And they called it mulled wine, and
yeah, MULLED. You put
mulled.
Mool. I don't know. Okay,
well,
bold.
I just like not the word mold.
Oh yeah, mold. Yeah, moldy wine. It's like a green.
It's like, oh yeah, no, poop water. Yeah, no, that was good. Like
real steamy. That's the way you want it. 6.2 on the scale. No, the mulled wine was actually very good. I think it's more like a holiday, kind of Christmas tradition ish. It's very good. I like it. But I like it more than eggnog.
Eggnog's nasty.
Yeah, blech. It's just too
We
thick.
should do it. Let's do an eggnog taste test when we're holiday season. This time last week.
I like it. But you just would have to be like non-alcoholic. Sober boy.
Isn't all eggnog? Isn't most eggnog non-alcoholic by default?
I think I guess the way they give it to you is, but I think the intention is to mix it with like I think it's whiskey or a rum. I don't know. I thought it's like drinking Bloody Mary mix without vodka.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I think eggnog default is without alcohol.
Okay, let us know. Comments below. What's the correct?
Tell Josh he's wrong.
I'm almost certain eggnog is like strictly an alcoholic beverage. Like that was its design. It was designed around alcoholism.
Disagree.
It's not like a milkshake.
Let's go to the phones.
All right. Phone a friend.
We need to can we get phones? That'd be cool.
That would be. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Subscription. All right. I have a hypothetical, and I actually have two this time. So just a informative thing for the viewers here. Will prepared 0 for today's episode because he is terrible at managing his calendar. I, however, am great at it. And as such, I was able to carve out some time today to put together our agenda. And because of that, I have two hypotheticals that I'm excited to share. But I will do one now and then one later where Will would typically do his. But it's lacking.
To be fair, I did come up with one, but you didn't want mine. So
I don't recall. I don't remember having that conversation. I will let you choose, though. Would you like to do one with sleeping or one that has to do with taxes?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with sleeping since I'm gonna and then we're gonna close.
So you're gonna fall asleep in about 20 minutes.
Exactly.
Okay. You will always naturally wake up at the exact time that you want to. So when you go to sleep, you say, you know what, Will, you got to be up at 2:15 in the morning for the flight, and you will wake up at 2:15 in the morning for the flight, or 6 in the morning, or if you want to sleep until 11, you can do that. Additionally, you will always wake up and feel rested. So you can go to sleep and you can say 20 minutes from now, I want to wake up, and you'll feel rested. You'll feel like you got the sleep that you should for that given amount of time. However, every single time, every night, you always have a nightmare, a terrible nightmare that you remember. You vividly remember it every time after you wake up, and that bothers you like a soul-crushing nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do it? Why or why not?
So, if I go to bed at 2:14. And I'll be pretty tired. Let's assume I've been up for a while. And I say I want to wake up at 2:15. I mean, a minute of sleep, which consolidates into like, this 6 to 8 hours of sleep that's needed.
I'll say this.
Seems nice.
The nightmare is, it feels like it's an entire thing. Like even if you're sleeping for 60 seconds, it's not like, oh, I just quickly had my minute-long nightmare and now I feel well rested. No, like it feels like a true nightmare.
Yeah. This is a really good trade-off, I think. This is a well done one.
Thank you.
Because like I'm gonna be like kind of scared to go to sleep every time. It's not even scared to go to sleep. It's like, oh man, this is like, I gotta go experience this thing again. You could we could even just say it's the same thing. I'm getting murdered or whatever, and I have to go through that every time. Yeah, that's a really hard one. The time that I get back though in my life is incredible.
Right.
But to have to fear every single day, have that fear of going to sleep every single day is awful. I'm not gonna do it.
No?
Man, no, I want to really bad, but I stick with those, like we've talked about it before, right? Like I typically want the ones with options, and when you've like removed the option of me going to bed soundly,
yes or no. It's just a
switch. I just don't like it. So I don't want it.
I think I would have landed there too. And I guess I'm impressed with your ability to reconcile how bad the trade-off is. Because I genuinely think it would drive someone insane.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's what I'd be worried about.
Yeah, it'd be a great year. I'd have like the most productive year of all time. I'd have so many hours back.
Maybe for like the first like week, and then you just
yeah, and then it would like cause some long-term trauma for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything? Yeah, I guess. Is there any amount of trade-off that you would make? Like if it was like maybe once a week you have a really bad nightmare?
Like a lottery one. It's like,
it's like Russian roulette of nightmare.
That's almost worse. I would think at least you're expecting it. You're like, okay, well, this is gonna be awful. But then when you don't know, you're like, oh, I have a 1 in 7
I hope
chance.
It's not one of those nights. Yeah.
I don't like if it was like once a year.
Oh yeah.
No,
I mean that happens regardless. I hope, or I think. I don't hope, but
no, that's probably about right. A couple times at least. Once a month. I would probably do it at once a month as well.
Okay.
That doesn't seem awful. It would be terrible to like have that the rest of your life, but like now we're getting into the numbers of like what reality is anyway,
Sure.
So
it's like how many more times a year would you be willing to?
Yeah.
All fair things.
Once a month. Once a month.
You get a lot of time back. You could always do the 60 seconds thing.
I know. That'd be incredible. I want this. How do we get this?
Well, think about it. We're doing like, the Neuralink stuff's coming out and all that fun thing. Yeah. Maybe that's a topic for later, but yeah. I love it. Okay.
I love it.
Now into our next segment, which the only stipulation you had for me, Josh, yes, I will let you own the agenda for today. However, it is imperative that we maintain the impression segment. Even though it was the least liked segment of all time, it's when nobody just wanted to watch, including myself. I plugged my ears when I rewatched the video. However, because I'll commit to that for you, we need to do impressions.
I will say I watched it with Taryn, my wife, for the viewers. And she said, I didn't think the impressions part was funny at all. And I wanted to do it more after she said that. So I'm glad we're doing this.
Yeah, I also didn't think it was funny. I don't know of anybody who did.
It was my favorite part. I'm so excited. What do you got for me? So I'm doing the impression. Is that correct? You're not doing one? After
rewatching myself, I was like, never doing this again.
Hit me with it. I can't wait.
Oh, I didn't actually think of anything. You got to do. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, here's my impression of you. I didn't actually think of anything. I'm a big idiot. That's you.
Okay. I want to clip that now. I really should have pressed the button. I got to get better about that because I can still clip things of you.
If only it lived on the internet forever.
If only it did. I want you. Okay, I just thought of this. It was really dumb. I want you to do an Oompa Loompa.
I think I know. Yeah. Okay.
Do you not know what that is?
I do. I know they're Willy Wonka. They're little orange guys. Do they? They don't talk though.
Yeah, of course they do. They do the song.
Oh.
Oompa Loompa. See, now I'm doing the impression. Do. You don't know what that is?
I know what it is. But go ahead. I thought you were gonna pick like a celebrity, but that's fine. I
can pick a celebrity.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta Google celebrity.
The only issue, I don't know what they sound like, so I would just be guessing.
Okay.
I'm happy to do an Oompa Loompa
though. I want you to do a Tom Cruise. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, this is gonna be awful. But I'm excited though. This is great because I have no idea how to do a Tom Cruise impression.
Good. So I'm glad you can look back at it and be upset with yourself.
Yeah.
I want you to do a Tom Cruise. Now, can I make up the scenario, or does it have to be like from a movie or something?
Yeah, anything. The world is your oyster. You came up with this whole outline.
Okay. I want you to do Tom Cruise, except your Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone. That's the guy's name, right?
Yep.
Okay. I want you to do the kid from Home Alone when he does when the shaving cream is on his face and he just shaved his face and he slaps his head and does like the freak out thing.
Like that?
No, he goes like this, and then he screams.
That's because I don't remember that. Like I know that happens, but I didn't realize it was a shaving. Related.
Yeah, it's he puts on an aftershave and it burns. You know, aftershave like kind of burns your face.
Oh,
because he like pretended to shave, like he went and got because he's like trying to pretend to be an adult.
Yeah. So, but you're asking me to do an impression like of Tom Cruise doing that?
Yeah. Tom Cruise.
There's no lines to be said though.
there's no lines.
Okay, this is Tom Cruise.
Go find some aviator sunglasses.
That was Tom Cruise.
I thought you were gonna throw in something like Scientology or like something weird.
No, what does he do? He's got this he has this like really crazy laugh. Like I can't think of how I would have to see it. But I've been watching Tom Cruise movies lately. I watched Mission Impossible and Jack Reacher, which if you haven't seen Jack Reacher, I thought that movie was good. It's really stupid. Okay. He just thinks he's too cool. All right, what does he say though in those movies? He just like laughs all the time. He goes like, "Hey," or something like that. But it's not quite right. I would have to.
Okay, I want you to do "Hey," but while slapping your face with the Macaulay Culkin. That was The Shining. That was Jack Nicholson right there.
That's right. Here's Johnny. That's Tom Cruise. Here's Johnny.
Okay, maybe that's better.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
It.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that part of the segment's over.
That was the worst. I can't wait to like practice that one. I'll come back next week. I'll have it squared up.
All right. Look forward to it. Speaking of next week, I know we have topics here, but we will be joining you all live. We have to figure all of this out between now and then. There's a lot to do. But we will be joining everyone live from Vegas this time next week. And I'm very excited. I'm excited to figure it all out because we get there Vegas on Thursday. We have to check in the hotel. I think the earliest is like 4 p.m. Maybe they'll let us go in earlier. Yeah, so.
Shoot. That's not good.
With the thing at 5:30. So we'll have to set everything up. The other thing that happens in Vegas hotels, they are actually...
in Vegas. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. They're very wary of people coming in with like camera equipment. Do you want to know why?
Because of filming the safes with the money.
Stop. No, they're not worried about people filming the safes with the money. They're worried about people creating production in their own hotel behind closed doors. Yeah, that's correct. So that's just a thing. I don't know that there will be specific issues, but
yeah, what are they going to look through your bags?
No, they don't. But if I'm going in there, like I'm talking like movie production equipment.
Yeah.
Like they're like, why does this person have a $15,000 like gimbal and stuff like that?
Got it.
So sorry to distract from the whole thing. We will join everybody live in Vegas a week from today.
Probably.
And No, we will for sure.
Like we will. But there's a good chance we're stupid and we'll be able to figure it out. But we'll be there.
We'll be there. 100%.
In some form.
In the regular form that everyone comes to expect. It'll probably just be like a snip of the video, the whole screen. And I'm probably not going to make like slides and stuff, but we'll do what we can with production value.
Exactly. That's really what I was getting at when I said in some form.
Understood. Please don't forget to bring your microphone.
Okay. I'll pack it right now.
Thanks. All right. So last weekend, I talked about it a little bit on the last podcast. Not last weekend, the weekend before last now, rather. I'll talk about last weekend here in a little bit. I went to Indiana and I picked up an old family relic. It's actually not a family relic. It's just a car that my dad bought in the late 90s that he's letting me look after for the next 5 years. It is a 1969 Chevrolet Camaro. All right, next topic. No.
You have photos of it?
I do.
Okay, good. It's pretty sweet.
It is pretty sweet. I'm really excited about it. I've driven it 4 times now, and it's a problem how much fun it is.
Yeah.
Way more fun than I expected. Way more fun. I drove a manual that was my first car, 6-speed manual. So there's not like a learning curve or anything. And this is infinitely more powerful than, not infinitely, but I think I had like 190 horsepower in the car that I first got. And this is like 290 or something,
and
close to 300.
Infinite more?
Yeah, This is infinite more. No, it's about 100% more though.
Only 2x more.
I think it's like 65% more or something like that. But it oh my God, it's so much fun. So when I pulled into the driveway and I unloaded it, it's funny. First of all, on the drive back, went to a gas station, stopped at one, and I swear to you, 5 people just came out of wherever people come from when they're at gas stations, and or out of the ground, I guess, out of their other cars and the inside or whatever, but came up. Oh my God, man, look at that car! Oh wow! Just kind of being not necessarily obnoxious, but just, envious or excited about the same thing. And I had a guy come up and he was like, "Hey, whoa, do you know what you have?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've got a 1969 Z28 Camaro."
You should have told him. You're like, "Oh yeah, no, this is my Hyundai Santa Fe. It's a great." Of course I know.
It's a Kia Soul.
I was gonna go sell it for a few grand. I was gonna go trade it in.
Do you want it actually? Like I'm having problems with it. It's weird. It doesn't fit as much cargo as I expected. No, but the guy came up and he was like, "Oh man, I had one of these, or I always wanted one of these growing up. Like this was the car." It's like, "I'll give you $100,000 right now for this."
Yeah, you messed up.
Okay. do you have $100,000? Because I will switch this shit right now for $100,000.
Yeah.
Give my dad $40,000 and I'll take 60 and run.
Yeah.
So to be clear, it's not worth $100,000. But it was very interesting how much attention it drew. And as soon as we pulled it up or I pulled it here where you see it now, this is in front of our house. Neighbor came up, "Yo, what is that? You got just wanting to talk about it, thinking it's cool." He's like talking about like Fast and Furious movies and stuff like that. Just wanting to, it's funny how something like this can just like generate a conversation with somebody nearby. And like, I don't know a ton about it. I know it's a 302 with like cubic inches of the engine. I know kind of the horsepower range. Obviously I know the year it was in. I know the history that my dad redid the body on it. Everything from like the firewall up is all redone. That was good. It was good. And so like I kind of know general details and so on, but it's like I said, it gets a lot of attention. I took Tori out for a drive and we pull out the neighborhood and her first words were, "Oh my God, where's the seatbelt?" Like, cause I've just like pulled it out and just started gunning it, and you have the tires chirp whenever you change gears and everything, and it's, I don't know, it just feels just like raw American friggin' power. I love it.
Yeah,
it's fun.
And it's a slick looking vehicle. It's funny because like I'm not a car person by any means. I think it's cool looking when I see people that like have vehicles like that. I'm like, oh yeah, that's like an old car. But I don't know a whole lot more beyond that. Like I I would probably be able to mostly tell you if it's like a Mustang versus like a Camaro. I think I have that ability, but like beyond that, I don't really know anything else.
Sure.
And like when I see people that have them, I'm like, oh yeah, that's neat. But like beyond that, I don't. That's just not an interest of mine. But it's funny because like the thing that's neat about it is like it's just like a very clear cut like stamp in time in history, right? Like that's what's really cool about like older cars. And I'm like, and it's like that should be interesting to me. It's not like I just don't have the interest to it. Like I think like some newer cars are like super cool, like way cooler looking than some of the older ones. Now, down to be fair, like it doesn't have that like nostalgia value of it, but I think that's the neatest part about it. It's just like I don't ever see myself getting like a classic car like that. The only one I might do would be like a DeLorean, which are awful cars.
I love DeLoreans.
But they're so cool. Like they're
cool.
they're just like they're kind of iconic.
That's the nostalgia, right? Like this is like the Game Boy of our parents' era.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
you find your old Game Boy Advance or whatever color. I guess for you it's probably black and white because you're so old. But you find that, and that's your nostalgia. Way cheaper, way more relevant of a hobby. But I do love it because I'm like, man, when this was on the production line, we were going to the moon. We were doing all this stuff. Like to think about that part of history I think is really exciting. But I just obviously I didn't live in that part of history, so I guess it technically doesn't mean as much. But granted, my dad had this in, like I said, the late or early 2000s or something like that, and did that work.
These were like
kind of
nice cars of the time too, right? Like these weren't just like the regular car. Like
this was they had a rally sport version, and this was back when they were like racing these consistently, and they had to fit under like the specific dimensions and size and weight and everything that fit into this like racing category. So these were known as a very desirable car even at the time that people wanted. Yeah. I think it's cool.
No, it's pretty sweet.
I'll tell you what.
Did you name it?
No, I didn't.
Do you name your cars?
No, I don't.
I don't do that either. That's stupid.
Petunia. Yeah. The funny
like
thing
I named
is,
it Will.
It did no, I did not. Absolutely not. It did do a number on my car. So
no, it shrug it down.
You'll notice.
Yeah.
So the towing capacity of a Kia Telluride is 5,000 pounds. This weighs about 3,900. No, 3,200. And I don't know how much a trailer weighs, but probably at least 1,000 pounds. Going over maybe 65 miles an hour. My whole car,
like 55 is the max.
I know. My whole car is like rattling. I can hear like things falling apart. And I just bought this on Labor Day, and so I was pretty wary of that, but
messing with it.
Still got it back. It was still fine. But the funny part was when on the way back, when it started to get dark, my headlights came on, and somebody came around, or they passed me, because tons of people were passing me because I wasn't going the 82 miles an hour that everybody goes on the road, and they came over in front of me, and then they like pulled over the side, like they put their blinkers on, and I was like, oh well, that's weird. And they pull over the side, and then hold on. Sorry. I'm glad I could mute that for everybody.
Yeah, I wish you would have left it. That'd have been nice. That's
fair. But they pulled over in front of me, and then they pulled off with their blinkers, and they're like looking at me like all angry, and I'm just like, what the hell? And I continue going, and I realize I know my brights aren't on, but because of the tilt on the back of the car, that my headlights are like shooting up. Like I started to see my light reflection in the road signs as I drove by. I'm like, oh, I'm literally blinding people who are in front of me. So I turned my headlights off for the rest of the drive, and everything was fine. But funny little tidbit. Keep in mind of that if you've got something heavy on the back of your car and you don't care about your suspension and you do something stupid like this.
Well, let me ask a question. I know the answer, but on behalf of the audience who's like, hey, idiot, you have a car. Why wouldn't you just drive the car instead of renting a trailer?
Okay. That is a good question for the regular audience. I will say that old cars overheat. and they because of its age, it's also not something you want to put a significant amount of miles on, and you want to kind of protect it a little bit. And so unless I wanted to do the 300-mile trek on like side roads and muster through that with a car that like I wasn't even super comfortable with, would have been kind of a nightmare. And probably more than 300 miles because you're trying to go around and not go on the interstate. And if I did go on the interstate, then you do have to worry about like overheating and just like other things of the damage you're some type of damage you do to the car. That being said, I'm sure it'd be fine. I'm sure it would technically drive okay. Like it's not, obviously it's a very well reconditioned vehicle, but it's just kind of I guess an unnecessary risk.
Yeah.
For something that if you do crash it, like you don't take it to the shop to go get it fixed.
Right. Right.
Destroyed
you've ruined it.
Yeah.
Well, and there's probably the other half of the audience that's like, no, Will's the idiot for asking that question. Obviously,
no, I don't think so.
That far.
I think I'm 50-50 because I think people do want to, right? Like the whole point of this
is to drive.
I don't want it to sit. Like I do want to drive. I want to enjoy the car. I want to, but I'll do it on little, 15-mile things around that are just kind of fun little get outside driving and not necessarily like doing road trips. So.
Yeah, I think you got it under like good circumstances too, because like I would be worried about it if I like dumped a ton of money into something like this, like a classic one, and I probably would baby it more than I would want to, like it just because like so I think the circumstances that like the conditions that you have it under are like super good to be able to like actually use it, which is better than the alternative.
Yeah, because it's also not it's not the Rally Sport edition. It's not the very high, like the Rally Sport ones that are finished to a full original factory. They go for like $700,000 to $800,000.
Holy crap!
It's insane. Now that's like the highest end. I think that's the most one has ever been sold for. But
yeah,
they do.
Dang,
that's what they'll auction off at. It's crazy.
What do you think Tom Cruise would say about that? I think he'd be like, 700,000. That's what I make in an hour. Hey.
He goes 700,000. Does he scream? Does Macaulay Culkin scream? No, he doesn't.
Oh, Macaulay Culkin?
I think he
does. I think he screams. Yeah. Tom Cruise does the running with the arms, knocked my mic down.
Yes.
In every movie.
I love it. How was your Halloween?
It was good. We did. We talked about the pumpkin carving. It was the weekend before, or 2 weekends before. Our pumpkins were mush by the following week, so they weren't even out on our doorstep. We hung out at the house. Did you say bugs?
Yeah. Do bugs go around your pumpkins?
No, not really. It was honestly ours were like mush within a couple of days, so I don't even think the bugs knew that it was there. But it was. They just went bad really, really quick. But no, Halloween was good. We didn't do a ton. I think we pretty much hung out at our house like that evening. We were down in Olympia the morning of, but we only got like 20 something people, and I'd say we got maybe like a max of 40 or something like that in the prior years, except for 2020 we got like 5.
Right.
But yeah, it was good. We always play a game where we pick three costumes each, and we try to figure out what's that.
So we pick 3. Oh, it looked like you had 4 fingers up.
No. Sorry. So we do like 3 each. And we always do this on the 31st of October. No, we always try to pick like the top 3 for each one. I think I had Spider-Man, a ninja, and I forget what my third one was. Star Wars related. Oh, Baby Yoda. And then Taryn picked 3 as well, and then we count how many kids showed up in those costumes, and whoever gets that wins. And neither one of us scored a single point this year.
Really?
Yeah, it was. I pick Spider-Man every single year, and I never get a point. Which
Somebody's
is ridiculous.
always Spider-Man.
I know, that's what I think too, and I'm always wrong every single year, and I don't learn my lesson. I almost picked Pikachu, and then on the one of the first group that showed up, a Pikachu was there, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" But yeah, it was fun. My buddy, him and his I threw that suggestion to one of my buddies that lives in Florida. Because he had messaged me, I think it was a pumpkin that he had carved, And so I told him about this game, thinking it was like a super good idea. And he was like, "Oh yeah, we made bingo cards." And he sent a picture of bingo cards with the exact same idea, just like 10 times cooler, of like a kid over explains his costume. That was the funniest one that I saw
awesome.
on there. And but yeah, that was a way better idea, and I felt really stupid after
that. No, that's a really cool idea. I mean, the both of them are good. I like them both. Granted, it's probably not as fun if you only have, a few people.
5 trick-or-treaters. Yeah. Did you end up getting a lot? I know this is the first year in this house so you weren't there. Just kidding.
I'll explain the story in a bit. We were not able to participate in our first Halloween in Tennessee, and it's heartbreaking. But before we get there, so I assume Taryn won.
No, it was a tie. We both got 0.
Oh, you both got 0. I thought it was just you.
Yeah.
Sorry, you both. What's that?
We both. I still challenge that.
I know.
I watched it, and you're wrong.
You're
not entirely wrong on a lot of things, but this one you're entirely wrong.
You don't explicitly say an L, but you do pronounce it differently. Can we agree on that? Both. No, both. You go both.
No, I don't.
You put your tongue out at the end. That's the L. Yeah, I see the tongue. The tongue comes out. That's an L, bro. Like.
Both.
All right, I'm over that. Before we get to my stranded scenario, can we talk about what your top favorite candies are and what my top favorite candies are and compare?
Oh yeah. Hell yes. Oh man, are we going one by one?
Yes. Let me say this. Mm-hmm. Let's do Halloween candy.
Damn it. Well, when you say you mean like they sell them in little like minis?
Not necessarily, but something that you'd reasonably expect somebody to have ready for you to go and get during Halloween.
I'm going to say mine, and you can tell me if it's not correct. I've never gotten at least one of these, or never seen one given away at Halloween, but it could very easily be done. I'm guessing you do the minis, right? You don't give out like full candy bars?
We just give out we give out Jello shots.
Hell yeah. Kids love those. We did full candy bars. Well, we didn't even do like this year. Taryn made a bunch of like bags, and
really
some of them had jerky sticks in them, but then some of them had like full candy bars in them too. They're
not
legit,
dogs; they're children.
It was like the Slim Jims. It had those and had some and gum in there, and then we had ones that had like full candy bars.
Yeah, the other one had like lamb meal and brown rice, little kidlets. Yeah, for the kids.
I knew that was you in the Kylo Ren costume. I knew it.
Stupid.
So that was So you could give what
What's
I'm
a
getting
Kylo
at is like,
who's Kyle?
Kyle Ren.
Got it. Kyle Ren.
Go ahead. From the Star Wars. So I'm gonna say my answers are okay because like you could give these out pretty easily like as a full candy bar. My number 1 candy, or do you want my number 3?
Let's go number 3. Let's go up. Let's cycle back and forth.
These are very hard to come by now, but they were not a couple months ago. It is the Butterfinger Crisp candy bar. They still sell them mostly at gas stations, but a couple months back you could get like 6 little mini ones for $1, and they're incredible.
I don't think I've ever had one.
They're very good. They're
I like Butterfingers.
Yeah, like if you like Butterfingers and you like Kit Kats, maybe,
or
then
like
you
Twix.
probably like these.
Kind of like
these
that kind
are
of
like
wafer?
Lighter. Okay. No, they're like lighter than a Twix. Like a Twix is kind of dense, sort of, a little bit.
It's more like pretzel-y.
More, yeah, kind of like that. It's definitely not like a pretzel flavor, but yeah, it has that consistency. They're super good though. If you like Butterfingers, you'd probably like them.
I'll have to try it out. And yeah, I'd argue that fits in the category of Halloween candy. It's appropriate.
All right. My other 2 will be that then too.
My number 3, straightforward, Milky Way. I like them. They're good. I can munch on some Milky Ways.
That's my wife's favorite one. She likes was
it's just,
at least.
It's soft.
It's got caramel, right?
It's got caramel. It's nothing
Nougat.
crunchy. It doesn't get stuck in your teeth. It's not annoying. It's just like a nice, simple Milky Way. It's good.
I don't care for those, but I don't like. There's nothing in it that I dislike in it.
Yeah.
It's like a Hershey's bar. Like I don't care for like
it's
a.
not a
No,
Hershey's
I'm saying
bar.
like I'm giving an example of what I don't like about Hershey's bars. Hershey's bars are boring because it's just like chocolate. Like there's nothing specific in there that I dislike of it. It's just like it's not that fun. Like it's not like doesn't stand out to me. You know.
Appropriate. Okay. What's your number 2?
My number 2. I'm gonna. This is downgraded to my number 2 in the last couple of years. It's the whatchamacallit candy bar. Have you had one of those before?
I have, and they are very good.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Those ones are like, I typically like the lighter candy bars. This one's like kind of dense, but it's not like overly dense. You know, it's not like I don't know, what's a really dense candy bar. But either way, they're super good. It's got the peanut butter flavor. It's got the wafer in it. And they're pretty solid.
That's pretty solid. I like it. My number 2, you probably never heard of this before. Maybe you have. And the only reason I say it is because we did get it in a bag that we were otherwise going to give to trick-or-treaters during Halloween.
Can I guess it before you say it?
You will not guess it, but yes.
The Charleston Chew. What a gross candy.
No, God, absolutely not. Yeah, it's the Big League gum. The Big League Chew. It's not that. It's a candy called Zots. Zots. Have you ever heard of that? I've
definitely heard of them. I have heard of them. I couldn't tell you. Are they like?
It's a hard candy.
They're like kind of. Oh, okay. That's not what I'm thinking of then.
Okay, it's a hard candy, and the unique thing about Zots is that it's got this weird baking soda and vinegar type. It's not actually baking soda and vinegar, but it's got that style of like reaction into it, kind of like Pop Rocks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When you put it in your mouth and you start, if you treat it like a regular candy, at first it tastes like a regular hard candy. But it has holes on either end of it with this stuff on the inside. And as it starts to melt, it starts to ooze out from the inner, and it's just this like soury, gooey, not gooey, but like just this like soury thing that just continues to ooze out of it for a long time. Like I'm talking like 3 to 4 minutes of just like slow oozing out. That's just, I don't know. It's
kind of fun.
Man, this is gonna get gross, but yeah, no, it's a tasty candy. I enjoy. I guess it's like it kind of evolves as it goes on, and then once you're done with it, you chew into it. It actually is like a little bit softer on the inside. It just tastes good. I like it.
Is it like a Warhead, like sour wise?
Not sour wise. It's not as sour as it is, but the actual outside of it and the sides of it is very, very, very similar to a Warhead.
Yeah, those were always kind of fun.
Yeah.
Oh man, I have an honorable mention that's not on here. High chews. When you said the chewiness in the middle. Do you really?
Because they're always stale. I don't think I've ever had like a non-stale high chew.
Man, I would have complimented that they're never stale.
No.
The green apple high chews. Oh, those are just money.
This is what Zots look like.
I was just looking them up, and they. I've definitely heard of them. I don't think I could have pinpointed what they are though.
They're pretty good. All right, what's your number one?
Number 1, Reese's Sticks. Very similar to the third one that I had, the Butterfinger Crisp. They took a Reese's and they made it better.
All 3 of yours are very similar. That surprises me.
Yeah, I don't like dense candies. Like, and I like them to have a little bit of. I don't like them super super sweet either. So anytime you add like peanut butter or to it, for me that makes it like that dials the sweetness back a little bit.
Got it.
Super good though. That one's great.
My number 1, frozen peanut butter cups. Take peanut butter cups, put them in the freezer, and pull them out of the freezer. Maybe let them sit for like 20 seconds, and then bite into them. Oh God, it's so good. I love like the texture, like the crunch, the little edges that go on around peanut butter cups, and when it's frozen and they're like hard to chew into, but the inside is still a little bit.
Get a little blood in the. Ooh. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I love the taste of my own iron and my blood with peanut butter.
So wait, have you had a Reese's Stick then?
Yeah, of course. That's good.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, see, like...
Have you ever had a frozen Reese's peanut butter cup?
I have, yeah. I have them in my fridge right now. I have some in my fridge.
Oh,
I prefer them not completely frozen. I like them cold, but I don't... Reese's cups, like, they're fine. I like them in practice, or I like them, I guess, the thought of them, but they're a little on the dense side for me. It's like too much. I just want something else, you know?
So like with that ranking, I would say your number 1 is like cotton candy.
No,
like
because
maybe are you?
Good.
But it's not dense at all. It's
too
literally
sweet,
zero density.
Yeah, but you need density and sweetness factor.
Okay, unflavored cotton candy would be.
It's just boring.
It's
just cotton.
You're just not on cotton.
Just number one, cotton balls for me. Salted cotton balls. Just get some sea salt.
I mean, have you tried them? You can't knock it till you try it.
No, I have not, but I don't think it's edible.
You're just like gnawing on t-shirts in the middle of the day. Stupid. Okay, I do want to say, now we'll go back. We'll talk about my story a little bit. So I mentioned it briefly, but for this past weekend, for Halloween, Tori and I went to a friend's postponed wedding reception turned Halloween party, which is kind of a cool idea. You know, it's a fun thing. So in lieu of the reception, I mean, after you get married and after you go through all those steps, you're like, why do I want to go and do all this all over again and invite all these people and do this big thing again? So just decided to throw a fun little Halloween party. And that was great. We went there on Saturday, got to hang out with friends. It was a good time. Sunday morning, had a scheduled flight through an airline called American Airlines. Are you familiar?
I've heard of the Americans.
American Airlines we had a scheduled flight. I don't know. I think it was like noon or something. And we go to the airport, all the normal stuff. We see on the news, American Airlines canceling flights like crazy. Everything's going down. Not everything's going down. That's not something you say about airplanes. But we
sure is.
We get there and everything looks on time.
They canceled the mid-flight. They're like, sorry,
flight's canceled. Bye.
You're gonna have to shut the plane off.
No, we get there and they like changed our gate a bunch, which I thought was a little weird. I was like, gate change. Okay, whatever. Maybe there's something weird going on. And we are actually we get through security, we check our bag, we do everything. And they are like, hey, we're going to delay 30 minutes or so. We're actually waiting on a flight attendant to come and show up so that we have enough flight attendants for flight. Okay, it's fine. That's happened every once in a while, whatever. 30 minutes go by. Hey, we're actually going to delay 30 more minutes. Okay, because we're still continuing to wait on them. All right, 30 more minutes go by. They do it again. Then 30 more minutes go by. And finally they say, and at this point, while we're walking around the airport, because we're just kind of dinking around because we know that they're going to continue to take forever, we see a line. This isn't just any line. This is I see the end of it. I'm like, what could this be for? And we just start walking. And it goes and it goes and goes and it wraps around and it circles and it doubles back and it goes across. I'm talking like 300 to 400 people deep of a line. And I was like, what is this? Turns out that was the customer service line for American Airlines in the Miami International Airport. And we get back, we like walk back as the time approaches of when we thought we were going to board. And they go, sorry, we've canceled this flight. We don't have anyone available. There's nobody we don't have any flight attendants that can help support this flight. So it's canceled and you need to go talk to customer service to get hotel vouchers because there are no more flights going out for the rest of the day. And as such, you are going to be pushed to tomorrow. So I go to the app, hit on the first flight that I can possibly find for tomorrow, for the next day, for Monday morning. And I go, Tori, I mean, we got to go get a hotel. What I do, so, I do like the travel hacking thing, or not necessarily hacking, but I do like all the credit card stuff. And I am tied to American Airlines. They call it their Admiral Club, which is kind of the lounge that they have. And I know from historical experience that they can be very helpful in times like this for going and getting things corrected or getting on the next flight or things like hotel vouchers and so on. So that's where we go, where the line was only 6 people deep, not 600 people deep. And it was still like a 45-minute wait because unfortunately the people that go to airplane lounges are jerks and they're just like they're the Karens of the world that are just absolutely awful customers. It's my only thing that I hate about it is the people that I'm associated with and surrounded with whenever I'm in lounges. But once we sit for 45 minutes and we finally get to talk to somebody, they say, you're sure you're booked on the next one. Here, we'll give you a flight voucher, or not a flight voucher, but a hotel voucher for a hotel. And so we go, we stay.
That's what hotel vouchers are for? Hotels? Sorry, continue.
It's okay. I know. I'm doing the over explanation thing. I'm sorry. It's because my brain is like queuing up the words I'm going to say. It's really bad.
Well, and it's just a shitty situation. So, there's emotions
really awful.
with it. So
I get it. I'm getting back into it. So, long story short, I hope we go into this limbo going back and forth kind of from the airport, and we go down to try and get our bags to go, because the plane didn't leave, so we know our bags should still be here. And that line is hundreds and hundreds of people deep. Sorry, this is before we went to the airport, or before we went to the hotel. Dang it. Before we went to the hotel, we tried to get our bags. Line was hundreds of people deep. Immersion
ruined.
We said, I'm over it. I don't care about my bag. I'm not going to sit here and wait for 6 hours to try and get it. And we're just going to go back to the hotel. So we did. Had to buy new clothes, had to buy toiletries, had to buy like everything that we could, or that we needed to continue to get along. And we stayed at our hotel. Next morning, for the flight that we had booked, start to get ready to go out, and it says canceled. Your flight is canceled. You're pushed again. And for that later that night. So, okay, we'll go to the one later in the night. We start to do the exact same thing 5 hours later. Nope, sorry, your next flight's canceled. And you're now pushed to Tuesday. And so we're just stuck in this perpetual loop, and we're like, oh my God, do we drive home? Like, what do we do?
Do we buy a house here?
I genuinely felt like we're just going to be stuck in Miami forever. Like, I need to rent instead of get hotels, so it's cheaper. It was nuts. That being said, the following day, Tuesday morning, Tori's wanting to drive or wanting to do something different. I'm just like, we're just going to wait it out. Our neighbors were taking care of our dog, and it was perfectly fine. They were continuing to watch them. We both had to work, but I could work remotely. I brought all my work stuff with me, and Tori was able to call out. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal. So we just pushed to the next day and left on Tuesday, and finally got home, and our bag was here after just tons of churn back and forth in the airport. Typically you'd think like, extra couple days in Florida, that's great, but it just, I don't know.
Wait, the bag was at your house?
Sorry, the bag was in Nashville.
Oh.
Already. It went on a flight like Monday morning.
Where the hell have you been?
It made the Monday morning flight, but we didn't. So I don't know what that was about. But
that shows you how they prioritize their customers.
For real.
Do you think that, like, you said that they switched your gate a bunch? Do you think that they were like just trying to like wean people out from their flights? Like, maybe if we switch their flights a lot, people are like, I don't want to go to another gate. I'm just gonna cancel it.
I honestly don't know why.
That's probably what they did.
Part of me would think something about reshuffling where people are, but obviously, like an airline employee, like they know how to travel between gates. Like, it's not gonna optimize for that. So I really don't understand what the shuffling was for. But
I also think that the other thing they could do to mitigate this, have you been on a flight where they've been like, they ask if there's any doctors on board? I've been on one.
Really?
And I've seen it, and actually weirdly enough, I was watching the show Curb Your Enthusiasm. I don't know if you've seen that show.
Yeah. It's awful.
And the episode that I was watching, he's on a plane, and the scenario that happens is he's on the plane and somebody asks for a doctor, and I think he's also in the emergency row, something to do with that. So they ask for a doctor, and I'm not even joking. Like, within 60 seconds after that happens on the show, they go on the intercom on my flight asking for a doctor. And I thought that was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Never happened before in my life. But
that's
what
weird.
I'm getting at is they should do the same thing. They go out, they're like, excuse me, is there any flight attendants on the passengers today? And just see if they can get anybody. That's how they hack it without having to pay anybody.
It's a good idea. I can tell you the unions are very upset because they were trying to get, effectively American was trying to breach the union contracts to try and get flight attendants to work beyond the union allowed and agreed upon maximum hours for the week or for the month or whatever. And so the union sent out like an email to all the flight attendants, was like, no, you let this company break down. Don't sit there and try and don't do more, even though they're asking you to, and we'll pay you more and so on, because like they'll continue to treat us like this and think that, they can just solve their problems by working people harder.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons to that, but obviously Southwest has happened to. Now it's happening to American. I think the majority of it's a product of flight attendants that were laid off last year. Not necessarily laid off, but like early retirement offers, and they did a bunch of packages and stuff like that. And now they're They're running on skeleton crews, trying to take people off of LOAs and stuff like that to spool up the workforce again. It's kind of a nightmare.
Yeah.
We'll see how the holidays go, because
yeah, I imagine it's going to get worse before it gets better.
We've got some flights coming up.
Yeah. I guess I should bring my work computer just in case. Or leave it.
You 100% should.
No, yeah, what can I do? I left it at home. I don't know what to tell you.
Sorry, unable to work. But no, that's kind of the story. I'll tell you, Miami does Halloween like you wouldn't believe. Or at least South Beach does. We ended up not staying at the hotel that was vouchered for us. You can be upset with me for that, and I understand.
So it wasn't nice enough? Is that the reason?
Kind of, yeah.
That's classic.
It was really bad looking. It did not. I didn't want to be miserable for 2 days. If we're gonna be stuck there, I don't want to just like add insult to injury. Like, let's enjoy the time that we have here. Let's make it like a little mini thing.
The insult to injury is the extra $500 you spent on a hotel.
I wish it was only $500. No, I'm kidding. That's about right.
That's what I figured.
I will tell you, when I went to the hotel, the guy was like, okay, so we explained the situation to the hotel person, because he's like, hey, you guys don't have any bags and you're here for a couple nights, and we just explained, no, we had a flight cancel, yada yada yada. He's like, okay, well, we typically give for members, and because of your resort fee or whatever it was, we give 2 free frozen margaritas at the place next door. So they gave me a little voucher.
Tell
for that.
me I got 3. Oh, dang it.
And he gave me the voucher for it. He's like, but because you had a canceled flight, we'll give you another one. And he signs another one, gives it to us. And he was like,
you got 3?
Listen. And no, he gives it. They're 2 for each.
4?
Listen, shut up. They're 2 for each voucher.
20 margaritas? I'm sorry.
It's really annoying. And he fills it out and he gives us the first one. And he's like, well, because you had the canceled flight. And he fills it out and gives us another one. So that's 4. And then he's like, and you're probably really tired from the day. So here's another one. And he's like, and you're going to need one for another. We ended up with 8 total free margaritas. And I had 4 of these vouchers. So now the what I was trying to explain that was going to be really hyped up and exciting, you've ruined because you just got really silly about it. So cool. But all in all, I had a lot of margaritas over those 2 days, and it was a good time.
I was going to say, at least you were drunk off your ass the entire time.
They weren't that alcoholic. Like they were like tiny little cups, so it made sense afterwards.
That was worth the $250 a night. I feel like
100%
for margarita. Yeah.
That's about what I spent on margaritas. Yeah, makes sense.
Well, I'm sorry that happened. At least you got 20 margaritas.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We had fun.
I hope that we don't get stranded in Vegas. That sounds not great.
I can tell you,
especially because I'll be broke.
It won't be as bad, because I think that we have enough.
We could walk home.
We have enough connections to be accommodated there. But
yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
for free. All right. Here's what I want to do next. With respect to last time, this time 2 weeks ago, because we didn't do one last week. You asked me a whole bunch of questions about cats, and I still am confused. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
And I just I want closure on what that was about.
Yeah, I wish I had a better. I'll tell you what I intended to do, and what I actually did as well. So, I was going through the small town news story, and I came across a Pennsylvania newspaper, online newspaper, and they had some yoga sessions, virtual yoga sessions that they were advertising on there. So I clicked on it, and it was being put on by the library. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend that one because it had already happened in the past. But I found the calendar of sessions that they were that the library put on, and there was one on there called "Decoding the Mysteries of Cats," or "Why Cats Do What They Do." That's what the session was called, and it was being presented by a cat behavior expert.
Ooh.
And so what I did, I signed up for it, and my intention, if you recall, I just asked if you had any questions about cats. That's all I gave you when we talked. And I believe you had some really in-depth ones like what are cats?
Evolution.
And the evolution of how, what you meant by that was how did cats like get to where they were. So
I joined evolution. Sorry.
I joined this and it was actually wildly informative. I had asked if I could record it because I wanted to be able to share it here, and I got the no. I got a red light on that one, and
Yikes.
so I was that was hiccup number one. The second one was like I couldn't even reference it myself at all. I didn't even like record myself. Like that's what I intended to just record myself asking questions, and I didn't even do that. I failed on that part. With that said, the event was very informative. I was by far the youngest person on this. The average person, the average age of the attendees was probably in like the high 60s, low 70s range. Everybody was on camera. It was fantastic. I went as somebody that was a prospective cat owner. So I told them I didn't have a cat, but I was trying to get informed on it. And I asked some, I did not get to ask your questions because I legitimately got pushed to like the last 5 minutes of it. And so I did ask though.
Those old people just taking up all that damn time.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. No, I did get to ask the question of, I don't know if you know, but like cats don't meow to each other. Like the younger cats will meow to their mother cats, and then cats will meow to humans. And so the expert, I didn't know the young cat to the older cat version, but I knew that I had heard that like cats only meow to humans. And so he actually covered this when he was presenting originally. And so my question was, what happens if we meow back at the cat? And he answered it, and he said, yeah, you can meow back at it. It might confuse him a little bit because I guess like it's understood that we're playing like a motherly role to the cats, because when they meow at us, since that's what they do as young cats. So that was one of the questions that I asked, and I'm trying to remember the other one. Oh, it had to do with how do cats know to use their litter boxes? The exact phrasing I said was, I learned to ride a bike before I was potty trained. How do cats know to use their litter boxes? Do they learn it from their parents, or is it instinctual? And he answered that one as well. Very professional. So my intent is, what's that?
Is it instinctual? Like, what was the answer?
It is semi-instinctual. They almost always look they always look for like kind of gravelly areas and stuff outside, so that they can kind of cover it up. So it's mostly instinctual, but he said that occasionally the parent cats will kind of show them as well. He said it's a little mix of both.
Yep. That's what we learned that's what we learned in the psychology class too. I remember it was like nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that in psychology? Do you know what that means?
Absolutely. I would hope most people know what that means. Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think a bunch do, but
I think most do.
I was fascinated by that argument when I was in 6th grade or whatever it was. Yeah.
I mean,
I was adamant it was nurture. I remember the hypothetical there was, if you have like 10 babies that are all just from completely different locations, and you're the sole parent of them, and you teach them in a way that you make them want to all be like surgeons or like open heart surgery surgeons or something. Could you make them all want to do that through some type of interaction? I was convinced that I was like, yeah, heck yeah. Take 10 kids, make them all heart surgeons, easy peasy. But I think there is a function of DNA, I guess, that I don't want to call it predetermination. Like, I don't think of anything like that, but just of
I don't
that
even
makes
know how
you
prove
who
that.
you are. I know that's why it's so fascinating. It's
You
like
can't,
because you're a culmination of are you a culmination of your experiences or of your DNA or both?
It's both. It's both.
No, it's both, but it's not both.
I'm gonna start making fun of yours. Both.
I think everybody kind of lands on it being both, but it's interesting like what the percentages and ratio and
that can't be calculated. There's no way. Like you just can't. It's 100% both. and the ratios are not. I just would challenge that it can't be determined. Like that's really what it comes down to. How could you quantify it?
Like I don't know.
You can't.
That's a great interview question. And you'd fail at it. Okay.
I would, because I'd be like, this is a stupid question. It's.
Thank you for asking about cats, even though you didn't ask either of my questions or any of them at all. But I think I learned a thing or two.
So my intent is to keep this going. I actually have a different session that I've already signed up for in the middle of November. It's not related to cats at all. I wanted to keep this relationship going with them, though, and so my intent is to get to a point where I can reference the recording on here, where everybody will sign up. I would really love to host my own session. I don't know what I would teach, but that's the dream. That's what I want to get to on this. No. I want to do something that I have no business teaching, that I'll learn and teach in the matter of a week or so.
Like mixing alcoholic drinks or something.
Yes.
Like
correct.
Teach on healthy parts.
Exactly. First, get the water.
Wait, so you said they don't do cats. What are the other things that they're specialists in? If it's the same people.
They have so that was just like a guess. I guess he's done it a couple of different times, but they get like just random local people that are like experts on certain
different
things.
Experts each time.
Yeah,
but there's like a moderator that's
yeah, there's somebody that works for the library that is like interacts with all of them.
Oh, okay.
And she was there. She was like on that call too.
That's fun. Was it like a 50-person call? Was it like a 500-person call?
It was I think it was 13 people is what it was total. And there was 40 seats open.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm joining next one. Plug me on there.
I thought about it originally, but I wanted it to be a surprise, so I didn't.
Well, now I got to be on the next one.
We can coordinate that. Yeah.
And we got to pretend like we don't know each other. Like correct. I want to. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it. I'll capture our own recordings, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. I would like to jump into my second hypothetical. Is that okay?
Taxes. I remembered it.
Taxes. Everybody's favorite. Fun fact about taxes. My dad technically sold me the Camaro for $1 because in the state of Indiana, you have to, I guess, technically sell it. It has to be for at least $1 to transfer it. So I owe the state of Indiana 6 cents in sales tax, or 7. I don't know what the sales tax is on cars, but
yeah, I thought it was more.
Or 12. Right. I don't know. I mean 12 cents, man. Kind of close. Yeah. I don't know what the percentage is, but no, the percentage is a ton in Washington. I know that because I bought my Jeep there a long time ago. And y'all are the worst about that, but it's awful.
Cabs are expensive here too.
Okay. Here's my taxes one. And I'm sure you know how it starts. How do you think it starts? It's a hypothetical. Related to taxes.
Would you rather?
I mean, kind of. I just... Okay, never mind.
Is it going to be a challenge of... It's going to be, would I pay taxes on a thing forever or have it not... Or have no taxes, but with a different condition? That's what I expect.
Kind of. All right. You never have to do taxes again.
Oh, thank God. I'll do it. Yes. You don't have to tell me anything else.
But you have to chop a finger off every day.
Every day.
Yeah. You need to keep getting more fingers.
It's not even yours. I can just have to pick a like.
Yeah, you got to chop some random person. Actually, that's not that bad. There are people out there.
Oh man.
Some like mob gangsters that like have really bad IRS rapports that probably are already chopping fingers off every day.
Probably so.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess it's not finger related. What's the actual hypothetical?
You never have to do taxes again, but once a week, you have to upload a video of yourself to the government saying that you love America. You have to chant, I love America. And you have to record a video of you doing that on your phone. And you have to take 15 seconds out of your day once a week for the rest of your life. And you never actually have to do your taxes again. You still have to pay taxes.
I don't have to do anything differently than I'm already doing right now, except for I don't do taxes anymore.
Yeah, you still have to pay taxes the same amount. You just like they take out the perfect exact amount from your paycheck and you just don't have to actually think about it. Taxes still apply to you. You just don't every year have to go through the process of
Why did you? I'm just curious. Like, why did you have to specify the video as "I love America"? Like,
well,
why wouldn't you pick
that's what the government would want, right? Like, it's like you're pledging allegiance. Yeah, it's kind of communism, but it's like yeah, it's instead of having to go through the tax process, I just have to tell America and the government that I love it once a week.
Got it.
Because I think at its core, listen to me, because of like your beliefs and like, you know, you're very like I don't know your
America.
exact.
I love America.
You do, but you do because you don't have to be forced to say things like "I love America" to America.
Yes.
So
correct.
And that's where I think that it will get you in terms of the hypothetical, because you hate taxes so goddamn much, but you also like hate being forced to do things by the government. And so that's the trade-off. And I think it's actually a good one.
So I'll say this: the content of the video is not a factor at all into my decision of my yes or no for this. I think you would have had to gone with something else, of like something that would have put me on, like make me look bad, I guess. But even then, I don't think I would do it regardless. So my answer is no. I will not do this, and the reason being, I've lost my options again. Like to be forced to do something weekly or at any regularity where I could get to a point and just pay somebody to do my taxes. Like, I don't think that's worth the trade-off. Like, I can get to a point where I don't have to do my own taxes anymore. And so I would try to get to that point.
But you're forced to still do it yearly.
It doesn't matter. I'm not
You're still
doing it.
forced to write something to the government that says that effectively says, yes, I'm a citizen. Yes, I pay my taxes, and this is how much I owe and what I've done over the course of the year. Like, that's still a thing that the government makes you do. What's the difference between that activity and weekly uploading a video?
Because I can pay somebody to do that for me, or the vast majority of that for me.
But okay, yeah, you pay somebody to do the vast majority of it for you. But what is that? It's still
once a year versus every week, commitment every week. That's a no-brainer.
But just I love America. Like, literally, you have an alarm on Sunday at like 11 a.m. That's just I love America. Boom, upload.
Forever. That's stupid. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take 15 seconds.
You started this as no matter what, saying yes to you never have to do taxes again. And this tiny little thing of uploading a video is flipping you over the edge.
You found it. You found the thing. Like, no, first off, I definitely was kidding about that.
Okay.
I was just to show how much I hate doing taxes and how complicated it is.
Right.
Overly complicated.
Let's say
it's even got more.
If you do taxes again, you have to do them yourselves, and you can't pay somebody to do it.
So I already have to do my taxes today. Mm-hmm. Like, I just have to continue doing them. I would rather spend a day doing something I hate than 53 days. I don't know what my circumstances are going to be week to week, you know?
Yeah, but 52 and 10 seconds. 52 times 10, 5,200 seconds.
Yeah. But I have
and the amount of time that you take over the course of a day.
Yeah, it doesn't. No, you'll be able to math it out probably less time overall, but that's not.
Yeah, it's an hour and 26 minutes.
Okay, great.
A year.
So let's say it takes me 3 hours to do my taxes. The flexibility that I get to do it, to choose it at my convenience, is so much better than having.
You're not going to choose it at your convenience.
I have to do it between February and May.
Yeah, that's not at your convenience.
Or April. That's at my. That's way more at my convenience than having to do something every single week.
And I think you spend more than a day on it.
I only do that if I don't have everything. If I don't have all the information in front of me.
Because I've known you for long enough, you have like anxiety about doing your taxes.
I don't know if it's anxiety. I think it's mostly I just don't enjoy doing it. It's the same of doing like expense reports. I hate
anxiety is probably not the right word, but
yeah, I just don't enjoy. Like, it's just like a hassle. I hate doing taxes. It's a pain in the butt. But I have way more flexibility in the current way than I would have having to do that video every single week.
Yeah, I think your response is dumb. I would do the video hands down instead of having to think about taxes for the rest of my life. Especially once you get older and you got like 401ks and you're like taking out stuff and yeah, hell no. Get me out of that. Yeah. Or if like I would feel more actually empowered to do things like, I don't know, more aggressive investing. Like, let me get into real estate here. Let me do this there. Like, I don't have to think about all the changes of your life. I don't know.
Now, if we're saying you're going to eliminate those taxes where I don't pay them and that money goes back in my pocket,
obviously.
Now we're talking.
100%. That's like.
See, but even then, it's not 100% for me.
It is 100%. Are you kidding me?
I'm still questioning it. Yeah, I'm still questioning it.
It's like having a job to get 40% of your pay or 30% of your payback. Like,
I'm still a big believer though
of an hour and a half a year to just say, I love the U.S. government. Like, what?
I would end up landing on that, but again, I don't like being like forced to do things, and so like
you're forced to go to meetings every day at work.
I would, but like I'm not forced to have the job. Like I can quit at any time. You know what I mean? Like
you can start paying your taxes anytime too. Start doing it.
Well, that's fair. Yeah, if I have that option, then of course I'm going to do it until I think it's not worth it. I thought I had to commit to this for the rest of my life, or not.
You actually would,
or I die.
That's a good point. Okay, we need to review last week's, 2 weeks ago's, this time last / next, I don't know, this time last week.
This time 2 weeks back.
The whole point of the freaking podcast. Before we do that, can you explain what our whole point system is? Because I think what is it?
Oh, yeah. No, it's super clear. So do you have the ability to show our current state points? So right now you have 7 points and I have 5 points. So what happens is the person with more points is winning.
Oh,
yep.
Thank you. Yeah, we had a viewer that was really confused about that concept. So I'm glad we cleared it up.
Yeah. So whoever has more, am I dead?
Yeah.
Can you still see me?
I can hear you. I can't see you.
I'm going to continue to explain it.
All right.
But either way, the way our point system works today is whoever has more is winning, and we continue to do that forever. When we get to a predetermined amount of points, then we will do something.
What's the predetermination? What's the amount?
We haven't predetermined that yet.
Okay. It's predetermined.
Yes.
All right. So once whoever gets to 7 points first wins the podcast forever.
I think that's how it works. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna look. I think I actually got there. I have 7 points.
Oh, well,
I've won the podcast.
Points. I think it's
as such,
points.
I've shut down your camera.
My video feed
forever.
Yeah, I'm getting it back now.
As you spool that up, let me explain the point system is just whatever. We just kind of continue to score points. We choose every single time, and we'll try to make it worth it if there's like a big enough discrepancy between the two to bring it back up to normal. And then one day, maybe when we get to 50 points or something crazy, I don't know, whenever the next time we meet in person, the other person gets to slap the other one in the face on the live podcast.
I think that's a great way to do it.
Me too. I love it. Actually, for however many points are different is how many slaps across the face the other person gets.
Now we're talking.
So if it's like 100-5, just 95 slaps.
Yes.
I love it. Are you sure your camera's coming back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost.
As it continues to, there we go. That's
almost right.
Almost right. Welcome back, Will. You look much lower quality than I saw you last, but maybe it's just me. Maybe you're just getting uglier. I don't know.
It's both.
Okay. The last time, 2 weeks ago, we kind of had a dumb one here, but the guess was how many miles my entire trip to Indiana and back was. And I realized that I made a massive mistake in this estimate here. That mistake was I provided a value of miles that was only one way for the trip and was not 2 ways for the trip. And as such, I said that I would drive 278 miles for the trip to and from Indiana. And then when you guessed, the only stipulation was you were to guess over and under. And if you were right, then you get a point. If you're wrong, I get a point. What did you guess?
I don't remember, but I know I won.
You guessed over.
Sorry. Yes, I did guess
obviously.
Over. That's right. I didn't have to pick it. Yeah, I guessed over because what I wanted, my strategy was I wanted to limit the amount of miles that you would have to go. So right. I was hoping that I could basically control your vacation to a certain degree. I didn't want you to go on extra stops.
Can I just say your distance of your face from the camera is like perfect right now. I wanted to mention real quick that
I think yours.
I think that's great
enough. Is what it comes down to.
No. So I said 278 miles. The trip was 566.9 miles. That was the trip. So you were thoroughly correct because I did not do that correctly.
And I got 500 points because of it.
You got 1 point because of it.
We should have 1 point for every mile you were off by. I would have been crushing it.
To be fair, even 278 times 2 is 556, and we said 500, and it was actually 566.9. So all things being said, even if I did multiply my number by 2, it still would, the actual was still over, so you still got a point. So I don't feel as bad. But we go from 7 to 5, 7 to 6.
Heck yeah.
It's only one slap.
Comeback.
So this time next week, I got to slap you right across the face on the live broadcast. That gives people a reason to tune in.
I mean, what can you do? It sounds like good. Yeah. We should do that. I'm down to do that.
Okay. All right. I will try very, very hard. Have we lost you completely? Will?
I don't know.
Oh, there we go. You're back.
No.
Your face, the way it was paused.
It actually might be internet related. I can hear the wind blowing again.
I mean, your camera didn't, but
yeah,
your camera seemed like it was. I don't know.
I'm saying this last one might be.
Got it. That being said, so then we can move on to what we're going to do this time next week. And in the spirit of what happened to me on a Halloween, and then in spirit of what we're doing in Vegas. Oh, all right.
Sorry, I was working on.
Hey, real quick, do you mind moving the camera further away from your face? It's really close. There we go. That's actually way better, dude. Other than the microphone.
I don't think it is. I think you're way better.
All right.
Got him.
The question to you is, will we make it to Vegas this time next week without any delays or cancellations for either of our flights?
Hell no.
So you think no?
I think no.
You don't think we're going to make it there without any delays or cancellations to our flight? And are we talking, when we say delay, do you mean like by 1 minute, or do I mean by 1 minute or more? Like, is there a threshold?
We could throw an hour on there.
Okay, so it has to be greater than an hour.
Yes.
Okay, so the delay has to be greater than an hour, and if that's the case, then Will gets a point.
Yeah.
If it's not the case and we're within an hour of our planned arrival time, then I get a point for both flights.
Yeah. Do we want to make this a 2-pointer?
No.
All right.
I want to make it a 1-pointer.
You don't want me getting ahead, so that's great.
The slapping happens at the beginning. It doesn't. Maybe it happens at the end, because then we can determine, or we can we can spool it up. Okay. Do you want to do 2 points so that I can potentially get slapped once, or you potentially get slapped 3 times? All right. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Whoever wins gets 2 points. All right.
I'm wondering, we can do 2 points, or we could do the arriving and the leaving flight too. Oh, we have to do it on the arriving.
Yeah, we got to do it on the arriving.
Just kidding.
Come on. We could do a point each for each other's flights.
Oh, now we're talking. Oh man, now do I have to figure out? Did I die again?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I'm gonna go to the other one.
Yeah, flip it back.
Sorry, I can't do it. So yeah, what we'll do.
Yeah, I'm writing it out.
We'll do
so
is
Will says my flight is going to be on time or delayed.
Yours will be. Who are you flying?
American.
And I'm flying Southwest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we're fucked.
Yours is going to be delayed.
Okay.
Mine will be okay.
1 hour. We'll fly on time. So if yours is delayed, I get 1 point. If mine is on time, I get 1 point. If mine is delayed, you get 1 point.
Yeah.
If yours is on time, you get 1 point. We'll cycle between the two.
Yes.
Love it. I can't wait to slap you 3 times.
God, I hope not.
Also, it bothers me a little bit that all of that was up to you. But I'm okay with it.
Oh, it doesn't have to be. No, I
No,
say you
it's fine.
do your prediction.
No,
and whoever's
I like it. I like it. We've already decided, and I'm actually okay with it because I think yours. I think I'll get 1 point. I think I'll get 1 point, and you'll be correct on the second one.
Yeah.
So maybe we both get up 1 point, but that's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
You look less fat than normal.
We had it then officially transition. And I don't, dude. I'm at like my fattest ever. I'm going to do some weight loss stuff. I don't look less fat than normal, but that was what you wrote down here
2 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago when we wrote the agenda for this.
Closing compliments. This is the section where we're about to close the podcast out, but we want to compliment each other because we might have gone into scenarios that we disagree with one another.
You love taxes, bitch. Go ahead.
But we must compliment each other, which I'm happy to kick off.
Okay.
Well done on setting this outline up in the limited time that we had with the limited support from my side. And by limited, I mean 0 support from my side. So it is a compliment and a thank you and an appreciation for it. And I look forward to this next week.
Why do I feel like that's your compliment every time? It's just the fact that
thanks doing this by yourself. Oh, you've done all of them by yourself every episode. Is that what you're taking credit for now?
No, it's just like every time it's about like the outline or like the podcast existence.
I mean, that was maybe the first 2 times. I know last time I compared you to Jason Statham. So, I mean, I guess if you want to say that's the same realm, then that's fine.
Yeah, it's right on point. Jason Statham was a guest on our podcast. Go back to episode 0 where he
gave away a cruise.
Yeah. Oh, we did do that. A Tom Cruise. I thought you.
So, yeah,
my compliment for you was I think that was our best impression moment yet. It's still the worst segment on the podcast by far, like by far, but it was still better than any of the impressions we did last time. So maybe on that uptick, we can actually get to a point where that's an acceptable segment of the podcast.
We need to make sure we bring this into next week.
Okay. We won't do that. Maybe there could be a funny moment doing it live. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we're doing all of it live, but that's...
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. Live? Doing it in person live. That's
right.
Every single time I've said that throughout the podcast. Sorry, I keep saying doing it live, but really it's... Because technically you're like an extra few seconds delayed. Or a few 100 milliseconds. I'm kidding. That doesn't make any sense. But when we do it in person in Vegas, it should be fun.
Right.
You excited?
I am excited.
We're going to burn money, my guy.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
We got to think of the this time last week for next week's. That's really good about your ability to lose your house in Vegas. That's my goal.
Yeah, Will bet his house at any point. Let's hope not.
All right. We appreciate y'all joining in. It's a fun time. Also, secondary compliment, Will. Good job camera flipping. Glad we were able to still get through things. It's okay.
Yeah. You know, it is what it is.
All right. We'll see y'all all together in person this time next week.
Everybody joining us in Vegas.
Hell yeah. Let's go. It's a party. Bye.
Bye.